The MECHA is one of the event troops coming in this anime season. It is amazing, it is a faster and stronger Root Rider, and you have to start using it. Before we get into some OP mecha attacks, let's have a look at the Anime Clash event. This is a proper event, not just a Super Troop one, a proper one like we all love, with two event troops, one of them being the MECHA, 5,500 hit points, 220 damage per second for 10 housing space. And did you see how quickly they went through that wall there? You'll see more of that later in the video today. You go back through the event pass, you see 30% training boost, which I know we all love, and the second event troop is the Broom Witch. Now, we're not going to show strategies for that in this video, but we are releasing a second video later today, probably 6 or 7 hours after this one, that will showcase Mass Broom Witch and Queen Charge Broom Witch. Now, if you are going to buy the event pass, make sure you use a code. Our code is code BLUE, and we really appreciate you using it. Love you all out there for your support. Now, what do the medals get you? Well, you've got the newest epic hero equipment, the Magic Mirror, and there's also a 3x3 decoration, the Kawaii Giant there. I'm not much of a collector, but if you are, you may want to consider using that. But let's have a look at the Magic Mirror stats. First, here are the base stats coming in here. Looks okay, but let's have a look at the levels that most of you free-to-play players are going to aim for. So level 18, and it's still pretty strong at level 18, which I like about this epic hero equipment. But if you are going to spend a little money and not be as free-to-play, here are the stats of level 27. Man, that is super strong. But if you're not into hero equipment, here is what the decoration looks like. Every time you click it, it changes position. Got the golden lassie as well. It looks cool, but I prefer the hero equipment. So here is what I think is the strongest mecha army, and the army we're going to be using in today's video. You can see 14 mechas and then 11 Valks, 2 Druids, Apprentice Warden, double Overgrowth, and if you think we're running ridiculously high hero equipment for the sake of it, we aren't. All level 18, including the new Magic Mirror. Let's see how strong that is in this attack strategy. We're going to start off with a double Poison Tower ring base. You see plenty of these in the meta at the moment, and felt like a good place to start to see how strong these new troops and this army comp is. So you want to put your king and queen together and set a really deep funnel. You'll see throughout this video how important that is, because the mecha does have one weakness, but if you can deal with this weakness, they will overrun the base. So we start with queen there, and then have a look at these mechas. They are so fast, so you got to deploy quickly. Get all your troops down. So mecha, warden, apprentice warden, druids, then valks. We're going to double rage. You can see the mirror clone on the right hand side, and because we've set a beautiful funnel, the mechas are going to beat through the wall into the core of the base. So they're getting into the core now. Now we use our first overgrowth, and look at how healthy they all are. I mean, this is completely ridiculous. The Valks are even coming in from the Siege Barracks. They all go down the bottom, and then I'm going to put my Royal Champion on the top side with the Skeleton spell to support those few units up there. The mechas are completely steamrolling the base, and what I really like about the mechas is they go at the same speed as the Valks, essentially. They're about one or two units quicker, but they're essentially about the same speed, so they move in a wave across the base together. It's not like the Root Riders, which are extremely slow. Now, the main difference between the mecha and the Root Rider, you'll kind of see right here. The Root Rider pretends as if the walls aren't there and will always target the closest defense. But the mecha, if there's a defense it can get to without going through a wall, it will do that, kind of like every other troop in the game, which means you need to funnel them really well. That's why at the start of the attack here, I used the king and queen to set a deep funnel. Have a look at this here. The mechas aren't going to run through the walls. They're going to run around them if you can. So you can see they're doing that here, but have a look at how many of them are up. Crushed. Crushed. Hopefully this attack here will give you guys a better idea of what I mean of the importance of funneling. So we got the king and queen on the bottom side, setting a deep funnel. The siege barracks on the top side doesn't need to set a deep funnel, but it just needs to get rid of a few defenses. And have a look at this. So we spam our mechas like that, and they're gonna go around the corner of the wall. But because the king and queen have done such a good funnel on one side, and the siege barracks done a good job on the other, they all come together anyway in the end. And that's all you need for this. You just need them to all come back together, and they do now, and look at that warden pop. I mean, we get everything we need to in it. We use the first overgrowth, And away we go. Now, you'll see the mechas here do not go to the Eagle Artillery initially, but as soon as they get rid of all the troops, all the buildings, sorry, in the compartment they're in, they will go through the walls so quickly. It is ridiculous. I mean, yeah. I mean, there was a base here at some point. We've crushed this base so quickly. And that is the power of this army. And I'm actually going to say this. I didn't get a lot of value out of the second overgrowth in a lot of the attacks today. And what you could do is drop an overgrowth, but bring a jump spell for directing your mechas further through the base. Yes, they are amazing at baiting through the walls, so you don't necessarily need the jump. But the jump can't hurt if you're worried about them going around the base, particularly on those ring bases where there's huge compartments on the outside. You could just bring a jump and open up the center of the base. But, I mean, I didn't find I needed them in any of the attacks today. I mean, look at how many mechas are up. I only brought 14 in the attack, and we've still got so many of them up. We've got heaps of Valks up as well, because the Valks don't get in front of the mechas like they do the Root Riders. But how will the mechas go against a double Rage Tower ring base? A lot of DPS in the core of the base. Can the mechas handle it? I think we all know the answer is yes. King and Queen on one side. And I want to show you this trick. It's not really much of a trick, but rather than bringing a wall breaker for your siege barracks, just use one mecha. So the mecha's going to go in and do a great job. King and Queen are doing solid work on the left-hand side. And now we spam the mechas straight through the middle. And you can see the importance of funneling here and how maybe I should have let the siege barracks do more work. Because all these mechas on the top side, they're going to do a lap of the base. I did not funnel them very well at all, but that's fine. They're going to be there with the wizards and get a huge amount of value. The rage spell of my own with the Warden ability is so strong. The mechas do so much damage. I cannot say this enough. They completely wreck the base, even if most of them go around the edge. Then I'm going to use my Royal Champion to reinforce the couple of them that are by themselves on the left-hand side. And look at how many are still alive on the top. So many. Now, the mechas, A, can get sprung, but B, they obviously are not shooting the defensive heroes, defensive CC troops, and that is why I'm bringing the Poison Lizard on the Warden, because the King and Queen are on their side by themselves, so you don't really have that air support. So that is what the Lizard's there for if you run into a Dragon CC, and look at this. So wrecked. So wrecked, and yet again, seeing that you don't really need that second overgrowth spell. So what I could have done in this attack is put a jump spell right here, and all these mechas that were here could have gone into the core of the base. Like I said, I didn't need it because I was pretty confident in my funneling, but if you're not as confident in your funneling, bring a jump spell. Yeah, it feels like you're wasting their ability to beat through walls, but they're pretty OP even without the wall breaking ability. I thought it'd be best to end with a live attack here, coming in on a teaser base, because the second toughest thing of this army outside of funneling, and the funneling isn't that difficult, is deploying this army. You do have to get the troops down rather quickly. So we've got the Queen there on the right-hand side. I wanted to get rid of that single Inferno. The siege barracks can now come down on the top. My King's in there. That wall breaks for my Queen to get out of that compartment. Alright, that's all done. Now we're going to go with the Mechas, Warden, Valks, Apprentice Warden, Druids, Early Rage. Look at that. You can see the Queen Invis is doing work. We're going to use 2 Headhunters here for the 2 defensive heroes. And then Warden ability now. Kind of negates that single Inferno. I love that both the Clone Queens are shooting the wall. Classic Clone Queen. It wouldn't be a Queen if she wasn't shooting the wall, right? Let's get that overgrowth down whilst we deal with this CC, because that CC is going to be slowing us up, and we don't really need those scatter shots shooting on us as well. I would have thought of getting rid of the Eagle, but we were so close to it, there was no need. Not even sure if I need the Royal Champion here. We'll put the Royal Champion on the top side. As you can see here, the Mecha's not going to run through the wall like a Root Rider would have here. Let's freeze. We may as well keep the Queen alive. Oh. There we go. Skeleton with the Headhunter at the end there. And look, it's so wrecked. Still so many mechas up. So you can kind of see, you do have to get the troops down quickly. It's like a 3 or 4 second deploy. But that is something you can practice in friendly challenges. And it's also, you know, you could probably get away with still tripling bases, even if you don't get it down perfectly anyway. Nice freeze spell from me there. Oops. There you go. That is how to use this army. It is super strong. I expect a lot of the top pushers to stop using Root Riders and to use this troop instead. It is better. I love using it. And if you'd like to see the Broom Witch in action, we will show a video later today. So if you're watching this shortly after it's posted, in a couple of hours, we will be posting it. And if you're watching this on delay, the video should already exist and we'll link it on the left.